I love the present pause. There's so much tension. Every time there's that silence, it's just fantastic. I love it.
Have I just been discovered? Is it happening for me finally?
No, he's politely saying you shouldn't talk.
Yeah. Yeah. With the election less than 2 weeks away, no one has even a speck of an idea of what's going to happen. We just have to live with that. In that same spirit, we're each going to share one unknowable, unexplainable thing that we've accepted in order to get through this wild, wacky, wet for some reason ride we call life. All right. This week on... Oh, we just spin it, and then we talk about... Do we have a wheel? Yeah, of course we do. It's a very professional show, Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah.
Barry, what's something unknown you'll accept?
I have learned to accept something that I totally don't understand, which is the concept of optimism. I'm a big believer that there's no upside to optimism. And I'll tell you what I mean by that if I could. If you get on an airplane and you turn to the person next to you and say, before we land, this plane is going to crash, one of two things happen. Either as the plane is about to crash, you get to turn to the guy next to you and go, am I right or what, which is a win, or you don't crash, which is a win. That's the joy of pessimism. If you get on a plane and say, if we land, we're going to land successfully, at best, that's only one of two possible outcomes. The other one is you crash and then you lose. So always embrace pessimism, but my wife is trying to convince me to be more optimistic. But I don't understand the concept.
Right. It doesn't relate for you. Yeah, I mean, I think it seems like a terrible way to move through life.
No, it's great.
Okay. And then
I think I read, though, that optimism correlates with, like, longevity, too. So if you're more pessimistic, you wind up, like, dying.
Great.
Because you know you're going to predict you're going to die and you die right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
Right. I guess you'll be miserable, but good news, it won't last long.
It won't last long. Very Woody Allen-like.
Yeah. All right, let's...
You're welcome.
Thanks. Let's spin that again. Governor Polis, what is something you'll never know and you're fine with?
I never understand dress shoes for men. And I see that we all are wearing sneakers. I don't own any and don't wear any, and I don't understand it, and I'm fine with that.
I appreciate
They're
that.
uncomfortable, they're horrible, and you get blisters. Like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
No, it's actually something that has always bothered me because it's like, hey, I thought men I thought there was a patriarchy and that the men were in charge. Why are we
ties also, right?
cinching fabric around our necks and then wearing these sort of tighter shoes? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The tie, you look fantastic. It looks great, and no one's saying otherwise. Uncomfortable.
Embrace affectation.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because people remember you.
That takes a cravat.
Oh, good point.
That's
okay. Very good point.
It's interesting.
I love to see a man in a dress shoe.
It does
Why not?
look
Just a dress shoe?
It's not as attractive when a man keeps the shoes on and the rest is off. I'll say
No, that doesn't work.
It doesn't translate that way.
Do you think people won't remember you if you're not wearing a tie? You're a very memorable person.
Well, I wasn't always. Not until I started to wear the ties. But what about cowboy boots? Are they allowed?
I can't.
Them's fighting words in Colorado, Barry.
I love. I'm a big embracer of cowboy boots.
No, those serve a purpose because, like, if you're going through like mud and terrain, like you do want boots. Yeah, snakes, exactly. So
Snakes.
I'm talking dress shoes. Don't understand it. I'm good with it.
Okay, good.
They don't protect you from snakes.
No.
No.
Good point.
So at your wedding, you were wearing sneakers. Uh-oh.
You know,
You were not being
I have
true
to
to
go
yourself
back and look at the
your
photos.
Okay.
I have to go. I was wearing a cravat. I literally was a yellow one.
I'm
I
sorry.
was.
What kind of fucking gay man doesn't remember the shoes he wore at his own wedding? What
I'm
planet
gonna go
am
back
I
and look at the
on?
photos.
Are you kidding me? Does your husband remember what shoes you were wearing?
I'll ask him right after this.
I hope you do. Let's do it again.
I have a feeling it's gonna be me.
There you go, Nwodim. It is.
Okay.
What's an unknown you accept?
Why we say bless you after people sneeze, but nothing for a cough? Nothing for a cough, bless you for a sneeze. Confounding to me.
It is confounding.
Yeah.
It would seem like we should say nothing after people sneeze, and it's cool after people fart. Like, you're cool, we're
But
cool.
lots of farts are silent.
Right,
But
right.
deadly.
But deadly,
Yeah.
but deadly, but deadly.
Yeah, a lot of farts.
It is a pure cultural thing that farting is. I mean, obviously they're gross. We don't enjoy them.
No.
There's a value to us of finding them repellent
I
and
thought the
embarrassing.
proper etiquette's to pretend you didn't do it. Isn't that the proper etiquette?
Yeah, that's often
That's
that's
like-
a
yeah.
politician's tactic, I suppose. Yeah. Why do we say bless you?
It's strange. I'm like, and oftentimes people don't even hear you say it. It's a formality. They've sneezed, they've moved on. There's 3 in a row. Are you saying, usually a sneeze comes in 3s. Right. We're saying bless you each time. That feels crazy.
Do you ever throw in a Gesundheit?
I'm not a Gesundheit girl. No.
What about you?
Guilty.
You do- I see that.
Gesundheit.
I see that. Have you ever thrown in a Gesundheit?
God, no.
All right, let's spin it again.
Wait, there's more? Oh.
All right, I have 2. My first one is, I'm just going to do this. This is my last time I'm going to do this. You will not learn from early vote who is going to win. You will not learn from any model who is going to win. You will not know from the absentees who will going to win. There's going to be no information over the next 10 days that will tell us what the outcome of this election is. There's just nothing to reassure us. You're allowed to be as scared as you want to be. You're allowed to be as confident at that man in row K who knows what's going to happen. As long as you're doing something to make that outcome a reality, you are allowed to feel over the next 10 days however you want. It simply does not matter how you feel over the next 10 days. What's going to matter is how we feel when the election is over. Our mistake in 2016 was worrying way too much about how we felt in the moment as the election was unfolding and not nearly enough about the stakes themselves. So let's focus on the stakes and getting those last few people out. Go to votesaveamerica.com, find those 3 friends in those 7 swing states and get them to turn out. We're just going to have to live with the uncertainty over the next week. I never need to find out where the eels are mating or how they do it. I simply never need to find out. I know that they're going to somewhere far away. I know it's a bit of a mystery. That's supposed to be a mystery. What about an eel is telling these scientists that we ought to be getting to the bottom of their reproductive situation? They're little demon freaks from deep below the ocean. Don't follow them. They go so far from us to mate, and we're gonna fucking follow them? Let them go. They are monsters from the deep. You're gonna go find the place? I don't think so.
Can I comment on your thing for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
If you embrace my theory of pessimism, what you want to do is bet money that Trump will win. Therefore, if he wins, you make money. If he loses, you get to not have Trump as president.
That's like blood money, Barry. That's like blood money.
Yeah,
You know, like those blood diamonds in
that's-
Africa. Like that's
That's
like
hedging.
What that is.
That's you've created.
Okay, you're right. I'm hedging.
Well,
You're
I
right.
just to go to my sincere, just to leave it here. My sincere response to your pessimism is, I think if you want to be pessimistic because you enjoy being pleasantly surprised, I think that's a completely fine way to go through life. But I think just that, especially in a cynical and very anxious time, remembering, and this is something I've said before, that being cautiously optimistic and disappointed is not less sophisticated than being cynical and pleasantly surprised.
Totally agree.
And that's I think the most important. You can be hopeful, you can be nervous, come as you are, but nobody knows what's going to happen.
And leave it all on the field. Is
And
what we
leave
say
it all
in
on the
sports.
fucking field.
Work your butts off. Let's just make sure if the wrong thing happens, you know that you did everything that you could to forget it, to make sure it didn't, and don't feel guilty for one moment.
Yeah. No guilt.